Another Pelican, a guy who I really liked in the draft, a guy who, like, the player archetype he is would perhaps be quite nice on the Raptors long term. Jeremiah Fears. Who's better, Collin Murray-Boyles, Jeremiah Fears?
I'm probably the most split on Fears of any prospect going on a year now. I had my boomer bust here, right, in the draft.
Yeah.
And I literally, these three guys were my boomer bust here. Now, I probably undersold, when I say these three guys, I mean Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears, and Ace Bailey. I probably undersold Ace's role player viability. Mm-hmm. I just thought that he was going to want to be Jonathan Kuminga, or he was going to, he's going to be in that mold of guy.
Cam Thomas, yeah.
Exactly. I thought he was just like, based on all the stuff we were getting before the draft and all the intel that you heard, was like, oh, this guy's just going to want to be a superstar or bust type thing. Mm-hmm. A more talented Cam Reddish, if you will. Like, that was kind of my idea. But he's bought into a role, and he's fit really nicely there. Fears and Queen were way more like, I could see this going either direction. Mm-hmm. I could see this like, hey, man, if everything works out with Fears as he puts on weight and he becomes this free throw magnet that gets into the paint at will, and he can improve as a passer because it's just the player that I compared him to was Tyrese Maxey, where I was just like, he showed in floater range, he showed touch, on pull-up jumpers, he showed touch, and from the free throw line, he showed touch, and he got into the paint at will. And it reminded me a lot of when Maxey was a prospect, and everyone was like, well, he can't shoot, but he has all these things that might mean that he can shoot in time. And if you went back to his high school, he actually could shoot. The difference is that Jeremiah Fears really can't shoot. Like,
right.
I watched him. I went to the Sixers Pelicans down in New Orleans in person, and some of his misses were, and BJ's had a few of these too this year. So I think it is just something that guys need to, as they get stronger and they get more comfortable in the NBA, they get more likely to, just with less on these wide open threes that they're getting generated for them. But Fears' misses were like fairly egregious, I would say.
Right.
And he did that a little bit in college too. So I think he's a very far, and like the league is just moving away from Jeremiah Fears.
Sure.
Jeremiah Fears 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I think you could talk me into him making some all-star teams. The handle special, the touches there, the ability to get into the lane. Like, I could definitely see him having maybe not quite as good as these guys, but like an Isaiah Thomas, Kemba Walker type career. But nowadays, as the league just gets bigger and stronger and more wing and big oriented, it takes a really, really special small guard to make it into that top tier. And really the only two guys right now that I think most people would consider top 20 players in the NBA that would fit in that mold are Tyrese Maxey and Jalen Brunson. And they're just much big. Maxey's much longer and stronger and has a bigger frame. And Jalen Brunson is built like a tank. So that's the difference to me between these guys. So I would definitely take Collin Murray-Boyles over Jeremiah Fears.
And just like dead eye shooters too, right? Like they're just insane. And like, Fears almost is like, what if Ja Morant were like 20% less athletic and like 80% more normal?
And that's how thin the margin is.
Yeah, exactly. And the player that Ja Morant is seems to be kind of going out of vogue as well, right? So I'm with you there, even though I think there's still like there's like a 5% outcome for Jeremiah Fears where he kind of figures out the shooting, and he is like everything I wish the Raptors had in a guard. And boy, am I really hoping Daryl Morey continues to sewer the Sixers so Tyrese Maxey wants to play with his buddy Scotty Barnes one day.
You never know.